Hi guys!
Hello!
So today we're going to do something extra special to celebrate our booking a Disney trip.
If you guys haven't seen our other video and realized that we were going to Disneyland, make sure to watch our last week's video, and you'll hear more about our little adventure that we're going to go on.
Today we're going to celebrate by making churros.
And
corn dogs.
So we kind of looked around the internet and tried figuring out what are the most cliche things that, you know, people eat while they're in the parks, and we're like, you know what? We're kind of having Disney withdrawals. Why don't we try making it at home?
So we're going to start with churros. And then we're going to do corn dogs for dinner later on tonight. Okay, so I laid out all our ingredients for the sake of time. We have a half a cup of milk, a half a cup of water, 3 tablespoons of butter diced. I combined in here 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar and about 3/8 teaspoon of salt. I also have a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a cup of all-purpose flour. I also got about 1.5 inches of oil for frying. And then for our coating, I have a cup of granulated sugar, and we'll be adding cinnamon to that by eye. It'll be mostly a cinnamon coating. And then for the tools that you'll need a fork to mix your cinnamon sugar, a whisk and a rubber spatula, a saucepan, a Dutch oven or a deep pot for frying, a baking tray with paper towels, and a baking rack, and then some kind of small strainer. I would use a metal strainer if I had it, but I don't. So let's get started. The one other thing I forgot is you'll also need a gallon-sized Ziploc bag or a piping bag. I'll show you how to make a piping bag from scratch so we can get the dough into the fryer. But the first thing we're gonna do is mix our cinnamon with our sugar to make cinnamon sugar. So what we're gonna do, and I know Josh likes it extra cinnamony.
I do, I can't lie.
I'm just gonna sprinkle some cinnamon in here. And you can do this by eye, and you're just gonna mix. And you may have to make more of this, because as you put the warm hot churros in here, it will melt the sugar. So now that we mix the cinnamon sugar, I'm just gonna put this off to the side, and then we're gonna start the dough and start the oil heating up. So now we're gonna get into actually making the dough. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start heating up my oil, and we're just gonna let that go. We're gonna watch it. I normally would cover it, depending on how hot it's gonna get. I may turn it off, lower it, anything like that. But now in a saucepan, we're gonna add the milk, the water, the sugar and salt mixture, and our butter. And once again, all of these ingredients will be in the description below, including the recipe. So now that I have all this in the pot, I'm going to put it on high, and I'm gonna mix and combine them. And once they are combined, I'm gonna wait for them to boil. Once they boil, we're gonna take it off the heat and jump into the next step. Now that this mixture is at a boil, we're gonna take it off the heat completely, and we're going to add our flour, and we're gonna add our vanilla. I'm going to take a rubber spatula and just mix that together. And we want to get all the lumps out, and it's going to form a dough. You can see it's kind of coming together as a lumpy mixture, but it'll come together as a dough. We decided to switch off, so I'm going to walk Josh through
Talk much?
the rest of this. So he's just mixing out all the lumps and getting all those pockets of flour. Now Josh is gonna put the dough mixture into the Ziploc bag.
This is very, very hot, so be careful not to burn yourself. As you can still see, I don't know if you can see in this shot, but there's a lot of steam coming off of this. So Amy's gonna allow me to talk a little bit. So what she told me to do, because she read the directions, is you cut off the tip of the plastic bag. So what we're going to do is a tester. It's to see how hot the oil actually is. And then what you'll do is just cut off a little bit as you're squeezing. I think that's hot enough.
That is hot enough. So you can go ahead and do more. You can either make them long or
this looks like it's gonna be
bite.
chicken.
Yeah, so make the smaller ones like there.
Right. Sorry.
I may have gotten splattered. We're gonna fry them. Once they come out of the fryer, they're gonna sit on the baking rack, and then they'll be rolled in the cinnamon sugar. It's nice and golden brown.
Whoop.
Run away.
They smell really good.
They do. All right, they're a little, we know, do like one or two, because ours are getting a little more well done.
And don't let it fry for too long, apparently.
Hey, we're learning as we go. We just lowered the heat a bit.
And we know that this does not look like the ones that are in the park, but as you can tell, I cut the hole a little bit too big.
And if you want them to look exactly like the park, you can use a star tip in your piping bag. We just don't have one, so that's what we're going with.
See, it's starting to get there.
Yeah, those look great. That one probably is ready to be taken out. And now while Josh does the rest, we're gonna let these cool a little bit. Those are probably good. And we're just gonna take them and drop them in the cinnamon sugar mixture. Gonna roll them in the cinnamon sugar.
I got a little bit lazy and a little bit crazy, so we decided to actually go a little bit bigger, and this is what we got.
That's really good.
Except for that little curl. I don't know what was with that little curl. It's probably the ending of the bag. So my honest opinion is, I think that this was a fail. I know you guys can't really see it, but I think the oil was too hot, and the outside cooked perfectly, but the inside is just very, very raw. So I'm gonna call this a fail.
I get where it's supposed to taste like churro, and it does. Tastes like undercooked churro. I like it.
Even though I said it was raw, I decided to take one more leap of faith. So you remember that long one that I just took out? I actually put it back into the fryer on the lowest heat setting possible for a lot longer, and to see if this will actually work. While it was actually still hot, I decided to not listen to Amy, because she told me not to do it because it was still boiling hot. And even though it was still hot, I put it in the cinnamon sugar. So I'm gonna walk over to the sink just so it doesn't drip all over the place. Try this out. Hot. Two things. One, it tastes a lot better than before because the inside tasted very mushy, like actual raw dough. This one, if I would have left this in longer, it would have burned, but I feel that if I restarted this from scratch and I had it at a lower heat and it cooked a little bit better, this would have tasted so much better. This is actually still pretty good. I would finish this one, but it's not as raw as the other ones. But I had to let this cook longer, so I would eat this. I would do this again. Chop this up as a half fail because of this guy. I cook more than Josh does in our house, so I kind of have more knowledge. The one thing I would have done differently, and it just happened to be a leap of faith that this is what happened today, I would have had a thermometer in the oil. I would have kept it around 360. I had to gauge by dropping pieces of dough in, so I couldn't tell the heat. Our thermometer just broke, so I couldn't do it. We have one in the mail, but unfortunately it wasn't here today when we wanted to film this. But I would definitely do this again with the thermometer and being a little more careful about the frying process itself. So now we're gonna clean everything up and we're gonna make the corn dogs in a little bit. Hi guys. Hello, so we kind of lied a little bit. I know the last clip you guys just saw, we were just getting done with the churros. Well, we kind of sat down after that and I fell asleep and yeah, I think that was the ending of it. So it's the next day. Yeah, so now we're gonna try doing the corn dogs. Again, we have everything set up. The instructions and how to cook it and everything will be down in the below, description box below. Yeah, what she just said, sorry. And just a disclaimer, this is not a Disney copycat recipe. The Disney copycat recipe for corn dogs included dairy,
And we, for religious reasons, don't mix meat and dairy. So I found a dairy-free corn dog recipe. So that's kind of what we're doing today, but I will link the Disney copycat recipe I found and this recipe down below in case you're dairy-free. All the ingredients are laid out. I'm gonna kind of go through them real quick, and then we'll jump right into it. So we have, you're supposed to have 10 hot dogs. I had the 5 that we have. I did cut them in half, just for easier frying, but it does call for 10 hot dogs. We have a half a cup of flour for dusting. We have 2/3 of a cup of cornmeal. In here we have 1/3 cup of flour, a teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. I have 1 egg, and then 2 tablespoons of corn oil and a half a cup of water, and then we have oil getting hot for frying. We also have a drain station set up again with tongs to pull everything out. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna insert our popsicle sticks into the hot dogs. Now we're gonna take the corn dogs and just dust them in a little bit of flour. So the batter is super easy. All we're gonna do is pretty much dump in the rest of our ingredients into the bowl. So that is the egg, which I'm gonna, I'm gonna break up first to make it a little easier. Our cornmeal, our flour, salt, and cayenne pepper, and our water and corn oil.
So now we're gonna switch off. I'm gonna do a little bit because I was getting tired of holding the camera. So now Amy instructed me to pour the batter into a glass to make it easier for dipping, but I've been feeling this glass may be too tall.
Yeah, we have really tall glasses in this house.
What I'm gonna do now is, I'm actually just gonna hold the batter in my hand and dip it all the way until it completely covers the hot dog and a little bit of the wood. Wow, that is really thick. Let some of it drip off. And then once you're satisfied with the amount of drippage that came off of it, actually hold on, a little bit came off. Then just take the whole entire thing and throw it in.
And we're gonna do 2 at a time.
So this has been in for maybe, I don't know, about, what, 5-10 minutes, Amy? How long?
2-3.
No, it's been longer than that. Any event, it's supposed to look golden brown like that, apparently. Just take it out and put it on the cooling and drying rack. And let them cool. And then just keep continuing to do everything. Just finished cooking, as you guys could see. If not, there it is. I'm gonna let Amy taste it first. Please don't judge me. I beg you, please don't judge me.
I'm judging.
I've never had a corn dog before in my life, so I can't really like put it up against anything to say if it tastes like the one in Disney. I personally can't eat the ones in Disney, but she has in the past. I've never.
So good.
So she's gonna try it first, and then I'm gonna try it.
I'm gonna try the first one that came out, so. It's really good. It's a little drier and it's thinner than the one that's in Disney. So you can see the one in Disney has like a real thick coating. We actually bought frozen corn dogs that I'm gonna have Josh try. But it is really good. I really do like it.
I'm actually going to eat the same one that Amy just tried, just because if she's saying it tastes close to the one in Disney, at least I can taste it. It's a hot dog.
The coating is much thicker in Disney.
So the coating is dry because I just ate a huge chunk off the coating, but it's a hot dog. I don't hate it because I like hot dogs. But it's a hot dog.
Guys, roast them in the comments.
Amy brought up a good point. This was actually hers, so I'm gonna try one more time. Two things. One, I usually eat my hot dogs with mustard, so I'm gonna try it with mustard. Second, Amy brought up a good point. The reason why this is probably dry is because the milk probably adds the fluffiness to the batter. So that's probably the reason why the outside coating is probably dry. If it's not, we're just gonna go with it and say that that's the issue. If you guys have ever had homemade corn dogs, like you've made it yourself, does the milk help make it fluffier, not as dry? Let us know, leave a comment below. But I'm gonna try this now with mustard, see if it's anything of a difference.
Don't you dare say it tastes like a hot dog.
You're right. Tastes like a hamburger. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Amy realized that we actually have already pre-made corn dogs. So we actually just microwaved it.
I can fry, the directions allow me to fry it or put it in the oven, but just for, you know, speediness sake, we put it in the microwave. I've eaten them before. They're good. They're not like Disney's, but they're more like a corn dog. It is starting to crack a little. I don't know if you can, yeah, it's not focusing, but there we go. It's cracking, but it's still gonna be like an authentic corn dog. It's gonna be very hot.
It's soft. Is this supposed to be soft?
Mm-hmm.
Hot.
It's the fun of eating corn dog burning your mouth.
I can definitely taste the difference in this compared to ours. You can actually see.
Yeah, see how fluffy it is?
Yeah. I like the corn dog mix though.
Doesn't it have, it's not just a hot dog, right? Can we get you to say that?
It's sweeter.
Yeah. Corn.
Okay, I'll kind of admit to it. It's not just a hot dog, but it's a hot dog.
No.
I like it.
Alright, so while Josh finishes his hot dog,
It's a good hot dog.
we're gonna close out this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Is there another Disney recipe we should try? Link it down below or list whatever it is. These are like two classics that we thought of that we wanted to do. Maybe in the future we'll make some Disney recipes from a movie.
We could possibly do that.
That sounds like a good idea.
I will say this, and I know I'm hoping you guys leave a lot of comments below. We know that there's like 20 different items that are in the Disney parks, whether it be in California or in Florida, that are like stapled items, like the pretzels or, you know, Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar, stuff like that. We know that, but give us, if you guys know any good recipes, leave it down below. We'll try it and we'll vlog it and we'll show you exactly, we'll let you know if it actually tastes good or not.
We love to try new recipes.
Oh, I'm willing to try anything, but as you guys can tell, it's liking it that's my problem.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching.
Thank you very much.
Subscribe and leave a comment.
And make sure you hit that bell, because even though you subscribe, if you don't hit that bell, you're not going to know we've uploaded another video.
And
see you real soon.